Yo, welcome into a Criticism Sidetrack movie review, and today we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Ant-Man! Yesterday, I had the pleasure of going to see the movie in theaters with a packed crowd, and I gotta say, I absolutely enjoyed the movie. I thought it was one of the best Marvel movies to come out in recent years ever since Phase 4. Like on not quite a level of No Way Home, because some other stuff I'll talk about later, but nearing Wakanda Forever and some stuff like that. It was a pretty good Marvel movie, and that is mostly because of Kang the Conqueror, the villain of the movie. Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror is going to be one of he's going to be the new Thanos. He's going to be like one of the more iconic villains in the MCU. Probably going to become one of the most iconic villains in pop culture by the time he's done. Watching this movie, I already enjoy him more than Thanos. Just some of the lines he spits out, and a lot of the presence that Jonathan Majors brings to the role. He's a very intimidating villain, and I really like that. I like when I can watch a movie and I can be scared shitless sitting in the theater being like, oh no, oh, they gotta run, oh no, they're not going to win. And that's exactly the type of presence that Jonathan Majors brings to this role, and he is by far the best part of the movie. If any of you saw the short that I made after I got out of the movie theater, talking about, not even talking, but just showing my reaction to the movie, just really the only thing I could talk about was Kang, because that was the best part. That was by far the best part of the movie. And if you really fucking enjoyed Kang like I did, then stick around to the end of the movie with the post-credit scenes. Speaking of which, over the last couple years in Phase 4, I've seen quite a bit of, after the movie ends, people just get up, they would leave the theater because they didn't really care for the movie, they didn't really like it, they would just get up and leave. And after the movie ended, every single person stayed right in their seats to wait for the post-credit scene. I did not see anybody get up. I think that this is a good step in the right direction for Marvel ever since, like, the fiasco, the tomfoolery that was Phase 4 and just Thor Love and Thunder, like Love and Thunder especially. I think that after that shit and the She-Hulk shit, they are going to get their shit in line. And that's exactly the statement that Kevin Feige issued. And this movie still has some of the old, like, Marvel isms and the problems that Marvel fakes. Like there's some characters that we meet when we get into the quantum realm, and at first it seems kind of interesting and mysterious, like, oh, this is a really cool sci-fi world, and it is that. It feels like a really cool new sci-fi. That's what I was thinking the entire time. This could be its own, like, sci-fi movie that even connected to the MCU. I think the world building is really good here for the quantum realm, but I did not like because the Marvel humor would kind of basically ruin every scene that it was in, and it especially ruins a character. One of my personal favorite characters from the comics and other stuff, MODOK. MODOK's in this. He's in the trailers. So this isn't a spoiler, and it kind of ruins character for me. Like, they play him off as a joke, which I can kind of get at first. MODOK's supposed to be this intimidating thing, like, and I don't like what they did with him in this movie. And the Quantum Realm people, they could be interesting as well, but they are also kind of plagued by the traditional, like, Marvel isms that they do with the comedy, the too much quippiness and all that sort of stuff. But once again, the one thing that isn't plagued by the comedy in this movie is Kang the Conqueror. He is one of the best parts. As soon as Kang steps on screen, it is full fear, no humor, no nothing. It is a completely serious movie. And, like, even, like, you can see from some of the lines in the trailer, like, Ant-Man, I'd be like, he should be trying to do his Ant-Man thing, Ant-Man, and, trying to joke around. He's like, well, I'm an Avenger, you stand no chance. And then Kang's just like, an Avenger? Have I killed you before? And everybody in the theater's just like, oh, no, sir, it's not okay. It's not okay. And that's really just a hats off to Jonathan Majors. Ever since I saw him in Loki, and I was like, oh my god, that's Kang. Like, I've been really excited for this. Roland King's one of my favorite villains in Marvel, just in general in the comics. So I'm really excited to see him come to fruition, and it looks like Kang is going to be great. Every single bit of Kang, from his backstory to how he interacted, what he does in the quantum realm, it is terrifying, and it is a good precursor for what's to come. Get into some more of the problems of this movie. I feel like it is too grand of a movie, and that's kind of a funny thing to say when talking about an Ant-Man movie. Ant-Man! But I do feel like it is a little bit too grand, and I only say that because the best parts of Ant-Man, to me, were the personal stories. The story of him getting his redemption arc from X-Con, him trying to save Cassie, him and Hope, him and Hank. It was all the personal interconnectivity that's always been Ant-Man's strong suit. Ant-Man! The small stories, and that's no pun intended, but it's true. Like the small stories are where Ant-Man shines, and I feel like if you just make a bit of a tweak to Scott Lang's character arc in this movie, which is it's Scott Lang's character arc is basically like he doesn't want to get involved anymore, kind of like he's having a hard time being the hero that he once wasn't. He's like, I need you to be the hero, and I don't feel like that's a character arc that that Ant-Man really needs to go on. And I feel like if you can do a little bit of tweaks to where I thought the movie was going to go. I thought, I guess you can classify this as spoilers, so I'll maybe put like a possible spoilers thing ahead, but there just isn't really much spoilers, I would say, for the movie. That so I was thinking that his character arc was going to be that since he had lost so much time with Cassie, Kang would strike up a deal with him in order to get that time back that he lost, and that's why man is not really helping these people, and I feel like that would have been a much more powerful story arc. But obviously that's not where the movie went, and it's fine. I think the good outweighs the bad in this, but I think it could have been a much more powerful movie had they just made a little bit of a shift to Scott Lang's arc. But something else, some other characters that get a bit of a chance to shine that don't really get much of a chance to shine in other movies. Janet Van Dyne, she just kind of stands front and center in this. She's very compelling. It starts about and it's talking about like her past in the quantum, where she's obviously been there for 30 years, and it deals a lot with what she had to go through when she was in the quantum realm, and I really thought that stuff was really interesting. And Michelle Pfeiffer, I think that's her name, the actress who plays Janet Van Dyne, is fantastic in this movie, and you can really feel like the PTSD whenever she talks about her time that she spent in the quantum realm. And I feel like some of that is kind of ruined by the MCU comedy once again, but I feel like the good outweighs the bad in this as well. And Hank Pym, I really enjoyed what they did with Hank, and he's gotten more opportunities to be badass, and since he is the original Ant-Man, so he's got more opportunities to be badass in the movie, and I liked what they did with his character, and I feel like it was really interesting. I feel like this is just the beginning of Marvel returning back to form after the fiasco that was Phase 4. I feel like it's the beginning of Marvel returning back to form. There is still some stuff that they got to clean up, and Kevin Feige did make a statement talking about, we're going to clean up some other stuff and push back some projects and make sure everything's peak performance, and I feel like we're on the latter half of the bad stuff in the MCU, and I feel like the quality is slowly going to shoot up, and I feel like this is the beginning of that. That's why I say Marvel is back, because not only is Kang great, but the movie is great. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and the fact that this movie has a lower Rotten Tomatoes score than Thor: Love and Thunder absolutely blows my mind, because Thor: Love and Thunder is shit. It is absolutely terrible. It is truly garbage, and this movie is nowhere near that. This movie's really good. It's really good. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Stick around for the post-credit scenes. The second post-credit scene is the best one. The first one is a little bit off, but it's a little bit weird. But I still liked it because of what it's foreboding, what its foreshadowing is to come. but it's still a little bit. I don't know. Bill Murray, he's also in this. He's in this for a bit, and he's Bill Murray. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention Cassie Lang. Cassie is great in this, and the relationship between Scott and Cassie is one of the shining parts of the movie, and I like that Wasp is in her original comic accurate yellow suit, like we've been waiting for her to be in for so freaking long. She's finally in the yellow suit, and it's good. And yeah, I like the father-daughter relationship and the whole family dynamic in general. It felt like a Fantastic Four movie to me. Family traveling into a new science dimension, going on a new science adventure, and united Kang the Conqueror. This feels like this should have been a Fantastic Four movie. Like, they took the script for a Fantastic Four movie and changed it into an Ant-Man movie, and it works. It works on it, but I feel like it still would have been better as a Fantastic Four movie, but it's still a good Ant-Man movie. And I was just thinking, this feels like Fantastic Four to me. This feels like what Fantastic Four should be, but not the family aspect. But I think, nonetheless, this movie is really good, and I would still go see it in theaters. Especially if you're a big Marvel fan, if you're a fan of Kang the Conqueror, if you're a fan of Ant-Man, definitely go see this. It is a good treat for Ant-Man fans. Again, I feel like it's too grandiose at times. I feel like it suffers from that, and it should be a bit of a more personal story. But overall, I really liked it. So yeah, that's really it for my review. If you enjoyed, do all the YouTube things. And yeah, we'll probably be talking. We might talk spoilers for this movie at some point. I don't know, but yeah, man. I think that's it. I'm gonna give this movie. I don't know. Still haven't thought of a good rating system. It's 8 out of 10 ants. 8 out of 10 ants.
Ants. Ants. Ant-Man.
Is a good system for this specifically. It'll change in the next one. But yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, if you've seen it, please leave your thoughts in the comments. All the comments. Do the thing in the comments where you talk about the stuff from the movie, what you liked, what you didn't like, yada yada yada. But yeah, stay tuned for more continuous Star Trek stuff, talk about Marvel, whatever else, and end of video.